Hey guys, so I know it has been a long time, but I have been so busy just trying to do what Abba is telling us to do. Abba Yah is telling me to do to get done. I'm coming into my new, and then also, just the transitioning into the next. And what I am here. Oh, sorry, you guys. First of all, if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. I am Fontanique, and this is Real Life Reloaded. And for those of you who are regulars and have seen my videos, welcome back. Now, y'all, shalom, shalom. So what I wanted to tell you guys today was I have been really avoiding reflecting reflecting on how far I've come, reflecting on the promises, just reflecting altogether. And so in avoiding, it has caused me to get very frustrated and irritated with not being able to see certain promises that Elohim has made to us manifest. So I was a little bit irritated for a little bit, but still pushing. Like, you know how you kind of keep stuff pushed down inside. Well, of course, he knows us, period. So he knows us. So he had been telling me to reflect. And there was something that I was feeling before, but when I'm already drained and tired, I do not like to go back and read things that I've written down, because I can actually feel that emotion that I had during the time, and it's exhausting and draining within itself. But he sent the word through a sister of mine in the Most High. She is an amazing person, but he sent the word through her when I was discussing with her. And I'm like, okay. And it was just confirmation, of what was already said. And I'm like, okay, I'll go back and I'll look. So I kind of played it safe. I have two journals. One that I started when I first, around the time I first was separated from my ex-husband. So of course that one has more of the, like, you can feel more of the sadness and the raw emotions in that. So I was like, okay, that one I try to stay away from going to read back in, unless it's something in particular that I'm trying to see. But I just was not in a space to go back and read at the time. So I told her, okay, I'll do it. And this was just on Sunday, I believe, that she told me this, of course, through the set apart spirit. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. But procrastinating and just trying to take that time to really get it done. I was waiting. Then I was listening to someone else here on YouTube, and they said the same thing about, going back and reflecting. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. So last night, after the kids left, I got myself together so I could take a bath and relax and, use my own products that I have made. And I was like, I'm so tired. I'm just going to go to sleep. I laid down and I fell asleep for about 2 hours. And of course, I was right back up because I was being disobedient and resisting going through things, going through stuff. So I'm like, okay, I cannot sleep. And I was like, I started praying, talking to, our Abba. And I'm like, look, Dad, I need to sleep. I'm exhausted, done everything possible to relax myself. I cannot sleep. And so he instructed me again to go and look and reflect. So I went through, like I told you guys before, I went through my newer journal. And I saw that and I'm like, okay, this is nothing here really that I want to, I see certain things, but it wasn't anything major. So I went through the older journal, the initial journal that I had. And I started writing in this in 2015. We separated early 2014, but it was so hard. I didn't start writing until like the beginning of 2015. Excuse me. And at this time, I remember, sorry guys, my throat, allergies, but I can remember YAH telling me 1 year. I kept hearing the term 1 year. I had no idea what that 1 year meant at the time. And to be honest with you, I really didn't know what that meant until now. And my relationship with him was not really as good. I knew I could hear him speak and say certain things, but it was nothing like it is now. It's really grown and blossomed. So that was the first indication of what he highlighted for me in my writings. It said 1 year, 1 year. I said, okay. But last night or early this morning when I was going through it, he revealed to me that the 1 year he was talking about was that mind frame, that switch in that mind frame from calling out to him for something I wanted, as opposed to the reason why we go through things to call out to him, which is to discover who we are in him, who he has called us to be, our purpose, so that way we can live out the word. And it clicked last night. He revealed it to me in my writings. And when I tell you guys, I was overwhelmed with the revelation within itself. I was overwhelmed with just gratefulness and thankfulness, because I can feel the space that I was in when I was, when I started writing. And even in the beginning of my writings, my writing was very chicken scratch-ish. Like, I've never been a horrible writer at all. It's always been, decent writing. And some of the words were actually illegible, but is a testament to where I was mentally and emotionally and even spiritually. You could see the desperation and how I was all over the place, and how, the hurt, you could see all of it in just the writing, the physical aspect of the writing, not to mention, like I said, I can feel the space I was in emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So that was one of the revelations I received. The other revelation was that switch in asking for the purpose, asking for what there's more to life than this. What is there? It has to be something bigger. This has to be for a reason. The pain that I'm feeling has to be for a reason. I saw that switch and I actually wrote it down. And here's the kicker, y'all. The day that I had already been feeling that I needed to do it, but the day that she spoke it to me, my sis spoke it to me, which was on Sunday, which was the 7th of July, right? Is that correct? Wednesday was the 8th. The 8th. No, Tuesday. So she had to have said this to me on Tuesday. As a matter of fact, I apologize. My days are all confused, y'all. I apologize. But on Tuesday the 7th, it was 1 year to that date it was 5 years from that date. Exactly. She told me on the 7th to look. And on the 7th in 2015 is when I switched and asked for what my purpose was. And for her to have told me on that day, I was like, I feel like you need to do this. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. Yeah, and I did it. But her partial disobedience is still disobedience. So there's no but. I only read one of the journals, and I knew that I had to go back to the other one. I just wasn't mentally and emotionally ready for that. So partial obedience is no excuse. Partial obedience is still disobedience. So let's just get that out there. And in turn, I was really feeling a heaviness on me and just exhaustion on me due to not being obedient. But it was 1 year, and that was it was 5 years from that date, like the exact date. And my mind was blown, y'all. It was so blown because he knows exactly what he is doing. He knows our plans. Like he always says, he knows the plans that he has for us. And I was so ecstatic to see that 5 years ago me, that even in the midst of the chaos and the trouble and the hurt and the pain and the confusion, I called out to our Father. I called out to him seeking more. And I recall even saying, some things I asked for was like, I want my kids to know that they can always come to me, and I want them to be okay no matter what, and that I love them. And I see now how my kids have been professing that to me, like, Mom, We know you have us, Mom. We love you so much, and we can come to you for anything. And it's important. It was so important. It was so important. Even the younger me that's like, to know that I have to call out to him and ask him for something more, that there has to be more to life than this, that it wasn't it. I even said, like, I need to, I want to live out your word. I want to hear you clearly. I want to live this. I want to be so close to you. I am living out your word. I just want to seek you in all things. And that is literally where I am in life, where everything from provision to business plans to everything, I am seeking him in all things. And him allowing me to see that he hears me, that he's been with me and in me all of this time, that everything that I went through was not in vain, that even though I don't see, some of the promises manifest, that sometimes if you just take a minute to go back and get in that space, look at where you were and see how far you've come. You see the works that he has done and how I was giving him praise and honor and glory through all of this, through everything that I was going through, and how it got me here where I am today, like the peace that I have, the closeness that I feel with Yah, with Yahweh, with Elohim, like that closeness with our Father, the understanding and the revelations that I receive, just knowing that he is for me and not against me. And I remember professing that in one of the, in one of my entries, like how he's for me and not against me. And I don't understand, but I trust you. Like, I'm just going to do what you tell me to do. I don't understand. I don't get it. And just still following him, even being very young in my journey with him. So with that being said, you guys, number one, we have to be obedient, and he knows our comings, our goings, our end, and our beginnings, and in betweens. He knows it all. So we have to follow him. But we do have a choice. That's another thing he's been showing me clearly this time. We have choices. We have the right to choose to follow or not. We are going to come to a crossroads in every stage of our journey. We are going to come to a crossroads, and we choose him ultimately or flesh. We come to these crossroads. So it's very important that we choose him, that we die to flesh daily, and that if we make a mistake, we speak to him, we repent for it, and we change it. We strive to do better. We strive to be better than we were the day before. So those revelations alone, y'all, it really did. It empowered me in such a way. I'm sorry, y'all. The girl's been low-key stressing, and I think that was due to, just not being obedient. Apologize. Anywho, it's important that we die to flesh every day. It's important that we see and we understand that we may not understand everything, and that we choose him ultimately, because he does not leave us nor forsake us. He shall not. He says that in his word. So that is what I had for you guys today. That was a quick word, that I felt in my spirit to share with you guys, because I know somebody out there is like, oh my goodness, I just feel like, I see certain things manifest, but not other things. Go back, reflect, look at how far you've come. Remember that space that you were in when you wrote down. This is why I say journaling is key. Remember that space that you were in when you wrote down how you were feeling. I mean, what you were feeling, what you were going through. Remember that and see where you are now and what you know. And to gain an understanding of where you were in your process, now that you are more mature in your process, and it doesn't matter what stage you are, if you are progressing, you are more mature than you were before. If you're watching this, you obviously have started something. Or if this is your beginning point, know that everybody has a starting point. If you're more mature, you're able to understand that through all things seek him, that you have to hold on to him above everything. You have to hold on to Yahweh above everything, like above everything. That we have to follow the examples that Yahshua set before us. We need to follow those. We need to follow that example. We need to understand what it means to truly love, to love ourselves, to teach our children how to love themselves, because that's generational wealth. That was even another thing that I said in here. And it's something that if you guys know me, if you guys follow me on any other social media platform, you guys know I always be like, okay, the premise behind Real Life Reloaded and Truth and in Love it's a self-care aspect with the foundations of the Most High. So this is us taking care of our mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, and physical health and gaining a balance. So that way we can align ourselves. We can come into alignment with who the Most High has called us to be, but in all things seek him. That way he will tell you what you need to align. He reveals things to you. He helps you to heal, grow, and that is true wealth because you pass that down to generations. That is the currency. That is the wealth. That is the lineage right there. Knowing who you are in the Most High. Everything else will be added on to you if you seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. So that is the true wealth. And 5 years ago, not even understanding what I was asking, but maybe understanding enough to ask this of him. I'm asking like, this is what I need. I need my children to be mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all these things I'm running down financially, even, I was covering all aspects. And I've forgotten about that. That's why it's important for us to go back and reflect in all aspects, y'all. So go back and read. Go back and read where you were. Go back and see how far you have come. See that this journey did not just start yesterday. And for those of you it did, I'm sure if you wrote something, you could see where you had thoughts or indications that there had to be more to life than this. Like, go back and see. Go back and see. Reflect. Because it's in those things that we give him glory. I was in tears. I was just crying almost uncontrollably because I am the manifestation of his word, because he speaks a word and then we are there. Like, to realize that it's like you're right on schedule. Like, that's what I'm hearing even now. You're right on schedule. Somebody needs to hear that they're right on schedule, because this is a revelation even as I'm speaking to y'all. I was right on schedule. Though I felt behind, though I still feel like there's so much that I have to do. He's saying I'm right on schedule. So somebody else needs this. I feel that for someone. You're right on schedule. Don't look at what, where you wanted to be, the plans that you had for yourself. Those were never intended anyway. Those were your thoughts. No. We are right on schedule for where he has called us to be. And when you see how far you've come, you will be amazed at what you have accomplished in this amount of time. You'll be amazed at your growth. All right, y'all. So I think that's it, you guys. Sorry, I'm just tuning in here. reflect, reflect. You have grown so much, and we are entering into new seasons of our lives. And I've broken generational curses. My kids come and talk to me about things. I'll be like, oh my goodness, do y'all really have to, like, okay, wow. But my babies come and speak to me candidly. That's breaking a generation. That's breaking a cycle. I speak to them about things. I talk to them. I tell them things. You know, I ask that I ask that scripture and the foundation of Yahweh be our foundation of our home, be led by our home. And I that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. I didn't even know how to at that time. I just started. I just started. I just started asking him and like talk to me. Like I just started. Just start. Just start if you haven't. Just start. You're doing so much by just starting. The other thing is he's like, I can feel him like he wants me to share with you is the fact that affirmations. I had written, number one, I had written a letter to my future husband one about 2 years ago. A year ago, a little over a year ago, year and a half ago. I had written a letter to my future husband, and he had me go back and read that. And in reading that, he has broken down to me the process of how, kingdom marriages are different from the worldly marriages, the courting situation, the, the how things are done in the spirit first before they hit the natural, even in the kingdom marriages. I knew that about other things, but it's just the revelations that he had given me on those. So at the time that I wrote this, he had not given me that revelation yet. And to read what I wrote to my future husband, when I tell you it's the Holy Spirit talking, because some of the things I was like, oh, how did I even know to write this? That's what he does when you're obedient. You just write things down and you go back and you're like, wow, it's putting things in writing. I noticed he'll tell you to write something down. Write something down. Take note of this, follow those directions. That was one. And the other thing, he had me go back and read an affirmation through a 21-day manifestation challenge that I did. Also about a year ago or so. Maybe it was 2 years ago, to be honest. Anywho, about 2 years ago, maybe. But the manifestation challenge that I did, the 21-day, I had written affirmations about what I wanted my life to look like. And I even see that coming to fruition. I see, those things being set in play. I see how he's answered so many things that I had when I was like, I just want to be close to you, It's just powerful. And I know that it sounds redundant, but I just have to share what he tells me to share with you guys. Excuse me, because somebody needs to hear it. It's for somebody, even if it's just for one person. Somebody needs to hear it. And not everything is for you. Not everything applies to you. And even if you feel like it applies to you, you guys take it to the Most High and ask. It could be bits and pieces, whatever. Take it to the Most High and ask him and see, go into prayer, go into your prayer closet. I'm sorry, y'all. I know I seem all over the place today, but I am just so overwhelmed with his love and his presence and how he's just moved and done everything in my life. And we can easily get caught up and see the natural of what we want once again. But seeing the natural is what we're not called to do that. We're not called to do that. So that is it, y'all. Y'all see all these boxes here. I have, Abba YAH has given me a whole new business. I started a self-care product line. So I have been doing shipments and packing and doing a bunch of stuff to get that together. It's been a blessing. It has been. It's definitely been a blessing. I don't know, you guys. If you guys want it, you guys can. I'll put the link here in this description. It's reallifereloaded.com. I'll put the actual link so you can go straight to the self-care page. And that is the website. If you guys are interested, we do body butters, skin detox, which is not on the site yet. You guys can also message me because there's so much that he's given me and I've actually done that I have not put in the site because all this stuff is a lot of work. Plus, with everything he has me doing, he's also calling me into a season of rest right now because of the things that are coming into play and how busy we're going to be. Just getting things prepared, and I've had a little taste of it, and it's tiring, but you know, I'm grateful for it. I'm sorry, I'm just frowning and all over. I am tired. I'm exhausted. I'm trying to listen in. Um, I really want to redo this video, but I'm not going to because I know how this goes. But so that's what I've been up to, is really just getting the products right as he directs me. It's stuff that I would be like, I can't do that, and he just gives me recipes for it. So I have been doing that lately. We do take special orders. My marketing skills are pretty trash. Not big on marketing. I let him do that and let him instruct me because it's not my thing. It's just not. It's not. And it should be. And I'm working on whatever he tells me to work on. So if y'all are interested, like I said, reallifereloaded.com, go ahead and press the link. That will be in the bio. Or follow me on IG at reallifereloaded. You guys can always email rlr.anointed@gmail.com. It's down below. I pray that this blesses somebody. I truly do, because I am really all over the place and tired, and I really did not want to do the video until after I took a nap. But you know, obedience once again is better than sacrifice, and I did not want to not do it, so I had to make sure that I took care of it immediately. And I think I'm a little bit hungry. I was in the middle of eating my late lunch. So I'm gonna get off now because now I'm just rambling. Anyway, y'all, blessings, peace, and love. Be dope and reload. And remember, y'all, please speak everything in love and in truth. Truth is a part of love. You cannot truly love someone unless you can speak truth to them. And you have to do that in love. And that's what we are called to do. We are called to worship him in spirit and in truth. And Yahshua said to do all things in love. So it's the basis of this ministry, y'all. It's a whole thing. All right, y'all. Until next time, shalom.